Hi, this is Lance, the king of black metal, and about 500 other things most people can't handle, from Taint, the most extremely extreme Norwegian black metal band from Gary, Indiana, ever, probably. And I'm here on the digital tour bus to tell you about our dream tour. For starters, before I get into, well, the first band on the bill, the headliner, would be us, Taint. I mean, let's get that out of the way. But before I get into the rest of the bands, we're going to need also on the tour a lot of livestock, horses, one for each member, goats. I'm honestly flexible on the number. We're going to need at least one. Let's say two, because you always need a backup goat unless something goes wrong. You maybe say the first goat is a wayward goat, or like especially irritable and like doesn't work well with others or whatever. And then other than that, honestly, maybe just some small woodland creatures to scamper about and just sort of create like an atmosphere of chaos at all times. And then dogs. I like dogs. The bands on the tour would be Merciful Fate, Venom, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Scorpions, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Skid Row, Ozzy. So Ozzy's got to play twice. Kind of busy. Also Dark Throne from Norway. I know they don't play live, but I'm pretty sure I could talk them into it. We get Newman from Seinfeld to play bass with them, just as for like a wow factor that no one would see coming. Mayhem, also from Norway, could play on the tour. Niflheim from Sweden. TLC, the R&B group, they're one of my favorites. I would like to have them on. I mean, I know no one would see it coming, but this is a tour about surprises. And so that would be the lineup of the tour, and then we would of course be the headliner. Only this is the thing, we go on first every night. We play sometimes honestly a shorter set than all the other bands on the tour, and then we'd just be like, have at it, do whatever you're gonna do, and that frees us up to do whatever we basically get backstage to enjoy a lot of the salsas and the chips and dips and hummuses and just nice things that we like to have on hand. And we could even see, having our name smaller than everyone else's in all the ads, because we're, an extremely cult underground act, and despite us being the greatest band of all time, we do have like some credibility to maintain. How are we going to get around on the tour? I'm glad you asked. We would take our tour bus. It's not so much a bus as it is a windowless van. We got on sale. We stole it. Anyway, and then in the back of I'm not in the van right now, but the back of the van, the lounge, as we like to call it, which is also where we keep all our equipment and us also. This is what I normally have back there. These are raccoons, basically. What I believe to be the most irritable of all rodents. I mean, especially this guy. Look at him. His tolerance for bullshit is basically zero. Over here, oh God, I can't even get into it. That's my ex, Karen. She left me at the altar. It wasn't like in a church or anything. It was just more of a satanic altar that I had set up in the back of the subway that I work at part-time. I had done this thing with the cold cuts, and then like the teriyaki, the foot-long teriyaki, all that. Took like a whole gallon of that teriyaki that was just like dripping down the wall. Anyway, she showed up and she's just like, I'm out of here, You and I have drifted. Anyway, still like to keep her in my heart in case she comes to her senses. The first show of the tour would, of course, be in the woods. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, hey, why start off in a tertiary market? Hear me out. We go on this way. We string up all the PAs like in the trees, like you can't even see it honestly. And we go on like super late, like midnight, which I know is going to suck for all the other bands on the bill, because if they go on after us, they're going to be like, oh fuck, it's 6 a.m. We didn't even get our monitor mix going yet. And anyway, we all ride in on horseback, and the crowd, it's like a select few at this show, like maybe we do like a giveaway or whatever. And they're the elite fans are able to like sort of peer out from behind the trees and be like, God, I think I see Witch Taint coming. Then a goat is led in by a man, like a little person, and the goat is then on the side of the goat is painted the letters WT, which stands for Witch Taint. That's done in pig's blood. If that's not easily available, ketchup's fine. Honestly, just slather the goat in ketchup. I think he'd get a kick out of it. Tie him up. We come out, we play, we finish, and everyone's like, oh my God, it's the best thing that's ever happened. And then we just ride off on our horses, and everyone's like, oh my God, they left. What about the goat? The goat's still here. You can't just leave the goat. But the goat's going to be a rental, so probably just have like whoever we rented the goat, just hey, just a heads up, we finished the last chord, we're out of there on horses, you got to come back and get the goat, honestly, and bring him to Sayreville. That's the next stop on the tour. We do Sayreville, and everyone's like, oh my God, thanks for coming to Sayreville. You know, a lot of people, they skip this spot, but it's like, it's great, you know, we sell shirts, and it's all about the fans. And then also, like, at this point of the tour, like, the merch and the concessions has been completely destroyed by all the small woodland creatures, the ones that we brought with us on the tour, but also the ones that you meet naturally in the woods: deer, woodchucks, beavers, possums, a lot of the popular woodland creatures out there today. Anyway, so we just got to get it all sorted out, and it's kind of, what happened to the double XLs? I thought it's like, oh, the deer shit on them. Oh, fuck. Anyway, we play that show, we go on, boom, next stop, pyramids in Egypt. That's right. What's that, a sphinx? Yeah, it is a sphinx. And we're just out there rocking. We play all the hits from our album, Sons of Midwestern Darkness, which is honestly the only album we have. And then we ride off, this time on camels, and everyone's got a camel. It's like, hey, like Nikki Six, hey Nikki, what's up? It's a cool camel. He's like, yeah, no, thanks, Lance. And then Dark Throne, yeah, Fenris and Nocturnal Culto are on one camel with the two humps, and they're like, oh my God, how did you talk Newman from Seinfeld into being in the band? And I'm just like, don't worry about it. Anyway, then we continue on to, we do like a, you know, hit whatever's in between Egypt and Tokyo, and the tour finishes at Budokan, live at Budokan, where Cheap Trick did the album live at Budokan. And we come out and we're playing, all the Japanese fans are like, oh my God, and we're like, Oregato, Odorigatsu Koku, Omae Deshite. Sorry, I blacked out for a second. And then we play, and everyone's freaking out, and then it's straight to the meet and greet, and then we probably just come back to my mom's place and hang out there for a while. That's Dream Tour. I'm Lance, the King of Black Metal from Witch Taint. Hell Satan.